Hey everyone, welcome to our fireside chat. My name is Tyler Dornenburg and I'm the VP of Strategic Sales here at Lob. And today I'm so excited to be joined by my friend and colleague, Sheila Holman, who is the VP of Marketing at USPS. Welcome, Sheila.
Hi, Tyler. Thanks for having me. I'm
We
excited
are,
to be here.
we are so excited to have you and really appreciate you being with us today. However, since our time with you is limited, I'm going to dive right in and get this thing started. Um, I've said this before and I'll say it again, direct mail is digital too. For digital native marketers and those who depend on all digital omni-channel approach, I think this is especially important to hear. But even for those who have been sending direct mail for decades, if you can't categorize your direct mail as a digital channel, it's time to start rethinking your program, which we'll discuss today at length. But before we dive into the software and integrations that make all that possible, I want to chat about informed delivery through USPS and how that can help bridge the gap between the physical and digital worlds of direct mail. Sheila, can you tell me a little bit more about informed delivery and its benefits?
Sure. So, Informed Delivery is a free service that the Postal Service provides to 59 million consumers, and it enables them to receive a daily email showing images of the mail that is coming to their mailbox that day. And for marketers, Informed Delivery gives them the opportunity to gain an additional digital impression and response mechanism to their direct mail piece at no additional cost. And that's what you're actually seeing here on the screen. So it's essentially a free ad unit for marketers. So marketers can add what we call is a ride along image, which is that rectangular image shown just below the image of the direct mail piece. And that when clicked, it takes the consumer to the URL of the marketer's choice. So this is the free ad unit that I just mentioned. And typically these images contain call to action buttons to encourage consumers to click on them and taking the consumer to their web page. So the marketer's direct mail piece has just become digitally enabled. And the other thing that marketers can do with informed delivery is change how their direct mail piece shows up in the email by changing from like a black and white color to a color image to make it pop more.
Awesome. Well, obviously, we're big fans of what you've done with informed delivery over here at Lob. But I think the numbers really speak for themselves in terms of growth, with close to 60 million total subscribers on informed delivery, myself included, as I'm sure there are many on this webinar who are as well. But in my opinion, this is proof positive that direct mail can play well with other channels that you're already leveraging. And I would even go so far as to say that it works best when paired with other digital channels, which leads me to my next question for you, Sheila. What's the biggest advancement in direct mail automation technology that you've seen throughout your career?
Sure. I'll actually speak to two, if that's okay. One advancement that's related to the mail piece, and one advancement about how it's targeted. So the first advancement is the ability to personalize the mail piece. And so with the growth of data and digital printers, it's now possible to print mail at scale that has personalized images and personalized text for almost the same cost as unpersonalized mail. And the second big advantage in mail that I've seen is the ability to use data to inform when to send individual mail pieces at key times based on certain triggers. And these triggers could be based on an online activity, such as when someone visits a website, or a financial activity, such as when they've applied for a loan, or even a calendar activity like a birthday. So mail can now be sent to individuals at just the right time.
So, really quickly, while we're on the topic of mail delivery, I think it's important that we discuss data lists as well, because both the technology to compile those lists as well as what you can accomplish with these lists has changed as that technology that accompanies them has matured. Which really brings me to kind of my next question here, which is what are three things that marketers should look for when purchasing mailing lists, especially in the context of a customer acquisition campaign?
Yeah. So I think the first and most important factor is that the list is of people who have similar characteristics as those you are trying to reach. And so you can find a list like this by either purchasing an off-the-shelf list or third-party list of those people with similar interests, behaviors, and demographics that you're trying to find. Or you can use your own data and create a lookalike list by either having a data company create a custom lookalike list based on your best customers, or build that yourself in-house. Second, the source of the list is also important. So subscription lists of people who have paid money to have something delivered to their house are usually the best list because these people will have provided accurate information. Compiled lists are put together from multiple sources, and they may be less reliable because people may not have been as focused on accuracy when they filled in their information. So, for example, if it was a website that required them to register in order to access the information that they went to the site for, they may not be as accurate in filling in that information. And the third most important factor when purchasing mailing lists is recency. Since almost 7% of addresses can go bad in 90 days, a list that has been updated recently can minimize bad addresses.
Awesome. The next thing that comes to mind when using direct mail in customer acquisition efforts is tracking the results of those campaigns. So QR codes are kind of the technology that got to see a second life. I might be dating myself a bit here, but I remember when half the technology companies I applied to after I graduated from college were promising to change the world with QR codes. And now over a decade later, and a pandemic later, more importantly, that tech is absolutely everywhere, which is especially important for marketers. So how do you think QR code technology has impacted direct mail?
Yeah. One big way that QR codes have impacted direct mail is by making it easier to measure how much impact the direct mail is having on your sales. So before QR codes, the most common way for marketers to track people who came to a website was to use a vanity URL and a URL with a unique ending or that was only on that mail piece. So for example, think Macy's.com/summer sale. The problem with this was that most people didn't type the summer sale part of the URL, and so the attribution wouldn't have been captured. When consumers scan QR codes, they come to the website directly and have a tracking code that identifies them as coming from that mail piece. And what's even better is that now that personalized QR codes are becoming more common, the tracking code or UTM code will identify exactly who is coming to the website. And this can enable the website to provide a more personalized experience to them.
Okay, so QR codes are relatively easy to add to a direct mail campaign and a really great way to track ROI and attribution. And thanks to advances in printing technology, we've seen massive changes in the ability to personalize not only direct mail campaigns, but also to personalize and customize your QR codes. But let's talk a little bit about augmented reality. How do you see these types of trends like augmented reality or other sort of technology innovations taking hold in 2024 and beyond?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. First of all, personalization. And I love personalization. I think personalization of direct mail is only going to continue to grow as more companies incorporate technology like customer data platforms or CDPs to leverage their own customer data. And more companies with CDPs and CRM platforms will use this data to drive their direct mail campaigns. And in turn, digital presses will capture even more share of the print volume. As it relates to augmented reality, one of the earliest examples of its use was in retail, when in 2010, the IKEA catalog made it possible to see how their furniture would look in your room. And today, this type of technology and experience is mainstream. Retailers are introducing augmented reality for their websites or their apps first. And once they've done this, it's a small step to incorporate this into their direct mail via a QR code, so that consumers can try on shoes or clothes directly from the piece or see a 3D model of that piece of furniture they might be interested in. So direct mail can now provide an immersive experience. And once they've tried on those shoes or clothes or seen that piece of furniture and they're in the app, it's going to be relatively easier to get that consumer to try on other things so they can be brought into a shopping session directly from the direct mail piece.
All right, so we can't have a webinar about technology without mentioning the buzzword from 2023, which is AI. And to add yet another one of my one-liners that Lob should absolutely be selling on coffee mugs and t-shirts at this point, you can't spell mail without AI. Pause for laughs, pause for laughs. All right, so I'll stick to my day job. Anyway, so we've talked about ways that marketers can use AI in their direct mail marketing campaigns, especially when using AI and A/B testing their direct mail campaigns at scale. So whether this is creative, copy, or variable data, what kinds of conversations have you had with marketers on using AI in their direct mail marketing? Or even beyond the obvious direct mail applications, how is USPS using AI to increase efficiency and help your customers to succeed?
Yeah, I think there's two big impacts that, as it relates to direct mail, that we see, AI will have on it. So the first is in generating creative. AI can significantly speed up the creative process by designing creative for direct mail and then designing complementary social media display or emails with the same messaging. And AI can do both the layout of the piece and can significantly reduce copywriting time by generating and improving on numerous brainstorming ideas. Another use of AI is in the leveraging of past campaigns to determine the most effective design or call to action, et cetera, for a particular prospect. Data on all aspects of past campaigns, in terms of response rates, the design of it, all of that data can enable it to recommend an approach for the next campaign. And also the data on previous purchases can enable it to recommend particular offers for each customer or prospect. At the Postal Service, we're actually using AI right now to improve customer service. We're shortening our help center wait times by using AI-powered virtual assistant, which we call Ava, to handle many calls. And Ava is continually learning based on interactions with our customers. For example, one of the things that Ava can do is to let you know when your package will be delivered. And she does this by analyzing scan data from millions and millions of package deliveries to predict when your package will be delivered.
That's really incredible. I had no idea about Ava before. That's really awesome innovation. So let's bring it all together and end our chat by talking about ROI, as that's what's on most marketers' minds when it comes to any channel. So Sheila, I'm curious, do you have any facts or stats from USPS regarding ROI in direct mail marketing that you could share?
Yes, I do. And as a marketer myself, I am particularly focused on return on investment. So there are two stats from direct mail marketing that mean the most to me. The first one is, according to an annual study that's done by the Association of National Advertisers, or ANA, to determine the ROI for different channels, direct mail has had the highest ROI of any marketing channel in the study, both for the study this year and in the past 3 years. And the second stat I love is that for marketers who previously did not include direct mail in their channel mix, over 80% of them saw improved performance of their campaigns when they added direct mail.
Well, those are awesome stats, and I actually have a similar one that I'd like to share. So according to our 2024 State of Direct Mail report, 84% of marketers agree direct mail provides the highest ROI of any channel that they use. Also of note is the fact that this number has consistently increased year over year for the third consecutive year, suggesting that direct mail has consistently earned its place as a channel that marketers can depend on to deliver results. But that doesn't always mean marketers are increasing those budgets year over year. I've talked about USPS promotions and incentives on previous panel discussions, but I'd love to hear from you about what USPS offers to help offset these costs of direct mail.
Sure. So for several years, the Postal Service has offered discounts to marketers who sort of up their direct mail game by adding things like QR codes, different textures, perhaps sense or augmented reality. And this year, we have upped our incentive game by introducing a new growth incentive. And we're giving a 30% credit on the growth of 2024 direct mail volume as compared to the last year's baseline. So essentially, that's 30% off. And we're starting this incentive with medium and large mailers to test it out. And next year, we hope that we can expand it to more mailers. I'll also add that we are 3 years into a comprehensive 10-year plan, our Delivering for America plan, that's designed to improve USPS operations, service reliability, and product and solution offerings. And mail products and innovations in mail are a big part of that plan. So we have lots of things in development, and hopefully I'll get to come back and talk more about those.
Awesome. I hope so too. And really that 30% growth incentive, that 30% credit has been so incredible and so great for so many of our customers. And we're working with a lot of them on it. So just another great tool that USPS is putting out there to ensure that everybody can be successful and that they can get the highest ROI possible on their mail pieces. And actually, for those with their eye on 2025 already, there are some pretty cool promotions on the horizon, including a proposed sustainability promotion, which, pending PRC approval, would offer an additional postage discount to anyone who is a promotion participant using sustainable mail pieces. And as a reminder, and maybe as a also shameless plug for Lob, we have been planting trees to offset our paper consumption for over 10 years and have been carbon neutral since 2022. So, I mentioned that because it's a reason that I'm proud to work here, but it's also a reason that, that customers continue to come back to us because they really love that we are sustainable by design. So, Sheila, I'd love to close out our chat today by asking you if there's anything else that we didn't get to talk about as it concerns technology in direct mail. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I think the one thing that I would like to mention is just a few comments about informed visibility. And this is one of the really great services that the Postal Service offers that I don't really think enough people know about. And so what it is informed delivery is a tech stack. Or excuse me, with informed delivery, it's a tech stack. And with informed visibility, when you mail with us, we can tell you when that mail piece is expected to arrive, and we can update you on its progress all the way until it's delivered. So that means if you want to get a customer excited about your catalog that's about to arrive, you can also target them with display and social media ads a few days before that catalog hits their mailbox, because you'll have visibility into that delivery through informed visibility. Or if you want to send them an email when the mail piece arrives, you can also trigger that communication when that mail piece is delivered. And if your service is one that people are likely to call in about, you can also plan for when you need to increase staffing at the call center to handle a surge from that. And lastly, our informed visibility tech stack can update and talk to your tech stack as often as you like, as frequently as every minute, to keep you up to date.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up because it's really that informed visibility data that's like the stepping stone for many marketers between getting their direct mail program from being this kind of like siloed individual program to really having it be a part of their omni-channel orchestration. And for what it's worth, that informed visibility data is the backbone of many of Lob's tracking events inside of our platform. So if you're looking to plug into an API endpoint to receive this data, then you can do so really quickly and easily using Lob's technology. So I'm being told by my producers here that we have time for a couple questions here at the end. I think we're going to pick three, and I am not surprised at all that they are all for Sheila. So Sheila, I'm going to rapid fire a couple of questions here. Are you ready?
Sure, go ahead.
Awesome. So number one, how do I get started with informed delivery?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Just go to USPS.com and click on the informed delivery icon at the top of the menu bar. And then all you have to do is tell us your address and answer a few questions just to verify that you actually live there, and you'll start receiving notifications.
Awesome. Question number two, someone is asking us to elaborate on what we mean when we say that sending direct mail is as easy as sending an email. I'll let you go first on this one, but I've got some thoughts as well.
Sure. I mean, when you're sending email, there's typically just three steps. You design your email, which could be, as simple as having a hero image at the top and a couple paragraphs of content. You enter that and upload all the email addresses, and then you hit send. And with direct mail, it's very much the same. You design your mail pieces. Postcards typically have a hero image on one side and a couple of paragraphs of content. You either then enter or upload the postal addresses, and you hit send.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it is a bit of a loaded statement, right? But for what it means for me, it also means just creating parity between the tools that exist for direct mail and the tools that exist for email, right? For so many years, your direct mail program might have sat in its own, it might have had its own budget. It might have, sat under a different marketing team. It might have sat under a different marketing leader. And that's all because many of the tools didn't talk to each other. So the ability to automate and integrate and get it connected to your marketing automation tools, your CRM, your CDP, as you were talking about earlier, Sheila, like these are all things that we expect out of modern day email tooling. And, people don't really expect out of direct mail. And so I think it's, important to note here that, when we talk about making it as easy as email, what we mean is not only that it's easy to, create those mail pieces and send them, but also that it's easier to have it be a part of your more comprehensive communication program. All right.
Absolutely.
Question number 3, and this is maybe a meatier one. So what do you predict the biggest direct mail trend will be in 2024 and why?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think the biggest trend is going to be people who don't use direct mail start to use it and start trying it. And the reason I think that is because, with cookie deprecation finally here, and with Gmail tightening up their anti-spam rules and prices for digital ads to some of those more sought after segments continuing to increase, I expect that more companies and more marketers are going to start using direct mail married with the digital tactics that we just discussed, and they're going to see better results in their campaigns.
I love it. The biggest trend is that if you're not using direct mail, then you should be. Shots fired. All right. Well, Sheila, as always, absolute pleasure chatting with you. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And if you'd like to dive deeper into the latest trends in direct mail, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen right here to download our 2024 State of Direct Mail Marketing Report. In this report, we dive into the pivotal role of data in shaping your direct mail campaigns and investigate how the macroeconomic climate has influenced marketing budgets and the adoption of technology platforms. And additionally, to close it out, if you would like to learn how Bob's direct mail automation platform can enhance your direct mail marketing efforts, please just take a quick moment to answer the poll that you're going to see appearing on the screen right about now. And we will have someone reach out to you immediately. Just feel free to ping us there, and we'll get somebody in touch with you immediately. But again, Sheila, truly an honor to share the spotlight with you for a couple of minutes here, and thank you again for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Tyler. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.